to start with Matt this hour. Matt is in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve, sir. What's up in your world?
Not much. I've got a question for you in regards to selling a house. Me and my wife are in the process of selling that. We have about $250,000 in equity.
Yay!
And we are planning to move to my parents' house for 2 to 5 years.
Why?
They are in the process of buying a house in Florida and not quite ready to sell their main property.
So they won't be there while you live there?
They will not.
But they're letting you live there for free?
Correct.
And then you're going to buy it later?
Correct. Or somewhere else. We're not quite sure how that will work out.
So as part of the deal, they're not making you buy this house eventually?
No, we're not.
Okay.
It's not forced buy. But we want that equity of our house to continue to grow. Right now, my wife and I are still working through baby step 2. We have about $30,000 left to pay off. And just trying to decide if we continue to use the equity in our house to pay off our debts or put that money towards something that can continue to grow for us.
Did I hear $35,000 clears it and you got $250,000?
Correct.
Okay, that's a no-brainer. Do that for sure. Then we still park the rest of it for the future house purchase, right?
Correct.
Okay, I got to go back to the deal because I'm struggling. Okay, I need a little bit of detail here. So mom and dad are moving out of their house, and you're going to move into it and live there free for 3 to 5 years.
Correct.
Where are mom and dad moving?
They are moving to Florida.
What are they going to live in? A rental? Are they buying or?
They're buying a house in Florida. Have already bought it.
Why are they not selling you this house now?
I don't quite know. I wouldn't want to buy this house. We're just doing this, my wife and I, to help them a little bit through the process of whether or not they want to move to Florida for the foreseeable future, or if they want to move back to Georgia and live in their house.
How old are you?
30 years old.
A little old to be doing house sitting.
Yeah, I agree.
This is weird.
Especially for 5 years.
I think they need to pay or get off the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to Florida, they need to sell their house, and you need to go buy a house.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with your deal. Okay, it's a nice thing for them, and it sounds good because you're getting to live there for free, right?
Right.
But the problem is that in the next 5 years, houses will have gone up in value, and you will have been out of the market that whole time while you house sit for parents who are indecisive.
Right.
I don't think this is a good deal for you.
Okay.
I want you to be a homeowner. And you got $250,000 or $215,000 after we paid off your debt. So if you don't want to buy this house, I would go buy a different house. But you sold your house for the sole purpose of doing this deal.
Yes, and my wife and I do love the property. If
not enough to buy
arise, we probably would purchase their
I'm sorry, say again?
My wife and I, it's a family property. We love the property. If the opportunity arises and we can buy the house for my parents, I would do so.
Wait a minute. I was just talking to a guy a minute ago who said he didn't want to buy this house. Where'd he go?
Well, it's not for sale right now. I'm not 100% sold on it that we would purchase this house if it was on the market. It's quite a bit out of our budget. But the property is great, and
what's the property worth?
Probably 1.5 million.
Yeah, it is out of your. Well, I don't know. What do you make a year? What's your household income?
We make 120.
Yeah, it's out of your budget. Okay.
Right. What would they sell it to you for? Would it be value?
It would. They bought it at an auction, and they got a great deal out of it. If we were to buy it, it would have to be kind of a non-interest, long-term buyout of the home, which I'm not
Okay,
sure I would wanna get
if you're
into.
going to go forward with this deal, here's the only way you don't get burnt. I still think the deal's squirrely because it sounds so like indecisive, and you're getting in the middle of other people's being indecisive, and that's always that's like playing in the traffic. Okay, so but what I do want you to do is I want them to give you a written option to purchase on this property today, a right to buy, a set price that makes you smile.
Okay.
And I want you to record that option at the courthouse as a lien on the title. Do this legally, like this was done with strangers.
Okay.
Okay? And that's how you do business with family, too, by the way. Not because we think family's going to screw us, but because we half-butt do stuff because we think they're not going to screw us, and then they do. So then you do business right. Okay? But you need to lock in the price at today's values and makes you smile. And if that's $1 million purchase for a $1.5 million house, do that. Live there 3 or 4 years. At least then you're not all the other properties around you in life are not going up in value, and you lose all of that appreciation in the next 5 years while you're a glorified house sitter.
Right.
So lock in. Can you do that?
I could do that.
Yeah. Otherwise you're burnt, man. You're losing all the appreciation in the next 5 years. And then park your money in some mutual funds with a SmartVestor Pro after you pay off your debts and have your emergency fund in place.
Yeah. And even then, if he purchases it for $1 million, he might have to take out a mortgage for $700,000, which may be way beyond.
Might be, but it might not be. But if he's got an option for 5 years, or a right to, first right of refusal.
If they're living there for free for 5 years, they can save up like crazy people while their other money grows.
There we go. Yeah.
So
Now you take $120,000 and you take $2,000, $2,500 a month that was your normal house payment or whatever, and you go bonkers and pile up cash. That's $30,000 a year, plus growth. And you do that, that's another $150,000, $200,000 to put on this. Now we're starting to get there. Yeah. So you get a deal locked in, and you use this time to save like crazy. Then you get there, and you don't even have to do a mortgage with them. I wouldn't do a mortgage with them long term. I don't recommend that, even if it's 0%. But I would get a deeply discounted price from them gladly, and lock that in a formal option today. Don't do this deal if you don't, because you're going to get burnt here, man. This is going to leave you out of the market for 5 years, and that's not a good place to be. Real estate is not crashing during this 5 years. It's going up.